Welcome to a journey that could fundamentally change how you see the world, how you lead, and how you live. We are constantly seeking ways to improve, to find fulfillment, to achieve success. But what if the path isn't more complicated, but simply seen through a different lens? What if the obstacles aren't the problem, but our perspective of them? For too long, we've been told the secrets to success lie in being the toughest, the smartest, the fastest. But the most elite warriors in the world reveal a truth that turns this on its head. We've chased status and perks, only to find they were never really meant for us anyway. We've struggled with our teams, our relationships, even our own sense of worth, often missing the most obvious factors staring us in the face. This is not just about inspiration. This is about practical wisdom, timeless truths, and uncomfortable realities that, once faced, can unlock your potential and transform the world around you. Let's begin. Lesson 1. The power of perspective. Are you seeing bagels or lines? Imagine this. You finish a long run, and there are free bagels waiting at the end. Delicious free bagels. You want one. But there's a long line of people also waiting. What do you see? Do you see the free bagel, the reward, the thing you want? Or do you see the long line, the obstacle, the thing preventing you from getting what you want? One perspective focuses on the goal, the other is fixated on the barrier. Sometimes the rules we think we have to follow, like waiting in a long line, are just conventions. You can often find a different way, your way, to go after what you want, as long as you don't prevent anyone else from getting what they want. This isn't about being pushy. It's about recognizing that the obstacle is often less real than we make it, and the opportunity is always there if we choose to see it. Think about the story of two people chopping wood. They start at the same time, stop at the same time. Yet, one consistently chops more wood, even though they take a break every day. Where do they go? They go home and sharpen their axe. It's not about relentless daily grind. It's about smart preparation and playing the infinite game of a career or a lifetime. Are you just chopping, or are you sharpening your axe? Are you seeing the daily grind as the obstacle, or are you seeing the potential for greater output through strategic breaks and preparation? Your perspective is your most powerful tool. Choose to see the bagels, choose to sharpen the axe, choose to find your way. Lesson 2. The strength found in others. Alone is the old way. We live in a world that often glorifies the lone wolf, the self-made individual who needs no one. But the truth from the most elite, toughest training environments in the world tells a different story. When asked who makes it through, the answer isn't the strongest muscles, the most tattoos, the born leaders, or the star athletes. None of them make it through simply because of those traits. The ones who make it are often physically spent, emotionally drained, shivering with fear. Yet somehow they find the energy, the last ounce of strength, to help the person next to them. They become elite warriors not by proving how tough they are, but by helping others. This is the secret. The world is too dangerous, too difficult, to believe you can do it all alone. Advancement, true strength, real resilience, it comes from taking care of each other. This means two crucial skills. 1. Learning to ask for help. Stop pretending you have it all together. When you are stuck, scared, or don't know what you're doing, admitting your vulnerability allows others who care about you to rush in and support you. They often wanted to help all along, they just didn't think you needed it. 2. Learning to accept help when it's offered. Don't let pride get in the way of receiving the support that can make all the difference. And the foundation? You must first learn to take care of others. Help the person to your left and the person to your right. This skill, the ability to both give and receive help, is perhaps the single most valuable thing you will ever learn in your entire life. Helping others isn't a weakness. It is the very definition of strength in a world that requires us to stand together. Lesson 3. The depth of influence, the power of speaking. Last leadership is often associated with having all the answers, with being the first to lay out the plan. But some of the most universally respected leaders in history practiced a different, counterintuitive skill. Think of the example of a great leader who attended tribal meetings with his father. He remembered two things. They always sat in a circle, and his father was always the last to speak. While we are constantly told to learn to listen, the deeper lesson is this: learn to be the last to speak. In meetings, in discussions, even people who consider themselves good listeners will often state their opinion first. Here's the problem. Here's what I think. Now what do you think? But by stating your view first, you've already influenced the room. It's too late for truly unbiased input. Holding your opinions until everyone else has spoken achieves two powerful things. One, it gives everyone else the genuine feeling that they have been heard, that they have contributed. This fosters trust and inclusion. Two, you get the immense benefit of hearing everyone else's thoughts before you render your opinion. You gather more information, understand different perspectives, and can then speak from a more informed place. The skill is to simply sit there, take it all in, without nodding yes or no. Your only allowance is to ask questions to understand why someone holds their opinion and from where they are speaking, not just what they are saying. It sounds simple, but it is profoundly difficult. Practice being the last to speak. It is a skill that unlocks deeper understanding and more impactful influence. Lesson 4. The hard truth. Sometimes, you are the problem. History offers brutal lessons if we are willing to learn from them. Consider a time when a terrifying phenomenon, often called the Black Death of childbed, swept across continents. Women giving birth were dying within 48 hours, and the death rates in some hospitals were astronomical. Men of science, doctors, studied tirelessly, looking for the external cause. They would even perform autopsies on the deceased women in the morning, and then go directly to deliver babies in the afternoon. It wasn't until a scientist pointed out the horrifyingly simple truth. They weren't washing their hands. They were carrying the infection from the autopsy room to the delivery room. They were ignored, called crazy for decades, until finally, someone listened. They started washing their hands and sterilizing instruments, and the mysterious illness disappeared. The stark lesson here is this: sometimes you are the problem. It's easy to blame the economy, the market, your team, the younger generation. But the truth is, the common factor in all your struggling relationships or your team's performance issues might just be you. This requires accountability. You get to take all the credit in the world for the things you do right, but only if you also take responsibility for the things you do wrong. It must be a balanced equation. You don't get credit without accountability. If an entire group, an entire generation, seems to be struggling, maybe, just maybe, it's not them. Maybe it's the environment that we, those in positions of leadership and influence, have created. Taking accountability is not an admission of failure. It is the first step towards real solutions and growth. Lesson 5. The humbling truth about success and status. As you achieve success, gain seniority, acquire fame or fortune, people will start treating you differently. Doors will be held open, people will rush to get you coffee, you'll be called sir or ma'am, and you'll receive perks you never asked for. There's a powerful story of a former high-ranking official who returned to give a speech at a conference a year after leaving office. The year before, when he held the position, he was flown business class, met at the airport, checked into his hotel, and handed coffee in a beautiful ceramic cup. This year, he flew coach, took a taxi, checked himself in, and poured his own coffee into a simple styrofoam cup. His profound realization: the ceramic cup was never meant for him, it was meant for the position he held. He, as a person, deserved a styrofoam cup. This is a critical lesson in humility and gratitude. You can absolutely accept and enjoy the perks, the free stuff, the special treatment. But you must always remember that none of that is for you, the person. It is for the role, the status, the level you have achieved. Your true value, your inherent worth, is not tied to the ceramic cup. You will always, fundamentally, deserve a styrofoam cup. Remember this lesson of humility as you rise, and you will remain grounded. Lesson 6. The environment is everything. Leaders create the culture. Why do some places thrive while others struggle? Why do some teams excel while others just punch the clock? We often focus on getting the right people on the bus. We criticize the workforce, saying they're not motivated, not engaged. But consider the contrast between two workplaces. At one, managers constantly walk around asking staff how they are doing, asking if there's anything they need to do their job better. The staff feel they can be themselves, that someone cares about them as a human being. At the other workplace, managers are only trying to catch people doing things wrong. Staff learn to keep their heads down, just trying to get through the day for a paycheck. The difference isn't the people, it's the leadership and the environment they create. If you create the right environment, you will attract and retain people who love their work and want to give their best. If you create the wrong environment, you will get people who are just waiting for the day to end. It's not about squeezing the most out of your people like wringing a towel. It's about helping your people be at their natural best. Leaders are not just managers. They are environment creators. If you want motivated, engaged, passionate people, look inward. What kind of world are you building for them? Lesson 7. Navigating the digital age. The real cost of connectivity. We are raising an entire generation in a world saturated with social media and constant digital connection. We are asking them to find themselves, build confidence, succeed, and build strong relationships, all while navigating complex new challenges. Social media platforms are designed to release dopamine, the same chemical that makes us feel good from smoking, drinking, or gambling. This makes them highly addictive. Getting a text, seeing likes on a post. These provide hits of dopamine. We check constantly, comparing ourselves to others, feeling trauma when we are unfriended. This unfettered access to a dopamine-producing, numbing chemical during the already high-stress period of adolescence is having a profound impact. Too many young people are growing up without knowing how to form deep, meaningful relationships. Their friendships can feel superficial. They admit they don't always rely on their friends, having fun, but knowing friends might cancel if something better comes along. The skill set for deep connection was never fully practiced. Even worse, they lack the coping mechanisms to deal with stress. When significant challenges arise, instead of turning to a person for support, they often turn to a device, to social media, for temporary relief. We're good at putting filters on life, showing the world everything is amazing even when we're depressed. This creates a facade of toughness and having it all figured out when the reality is much different. It's easy to say, it's just this generation. But the truth is, it's not generational. It's human. We all want to feel cared for, to feel safe, to feel like we belong. If we are struggling to connect with or understand others, the practice required is empathy. We must relate to what they may be going through. This practice of empathy will profoundly change our decisions and how we see the world. Lesson 8. The right to love your work. Finding your passion. We are taught that loving your job is a stroke of luck, a privilege few are granted. We hear someone say, "I love my job," and the common reaction is, "Oh my God, you're so lucky." This perspective is madness. Loving your work is not a privilege, it is a right. It is a fundamental human right to wake up and feel that you belong where you work, that you contribute to something you care about. We should demand environments where we feel safe, where we can express vulnerability without fear of reprisal, where we are open to feedback because we know it's for growth, and where leaders care more about our well-being and potential than just short-term numbers. When leaders create that environment, where we feel cared for and valued, we respond with loyalty, dedication, and sacrifice. We offer our blood, sweat, and tears not just for the company or the leader, but because it becomes deeply personal. It's something we love contributing to. There's a simple, powerful distinction. Working hard for something you don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something you love is called passion. Stop accepting stress as the norm. Demand the right to experience passion in your work. Create that environment if you are a leader, or seek it out if you are not. Conclusion. These are just a few of the transformative ideas that can shift your perspective and empower your journey. From seeing opportunity instead of just obstacles, to finding strength in helping and asking for help, to the quiet power of listening first, to the crucial need for accountability, the grounding wisdom of humility, the responsibility of leaders to build nurturing environments, the challenges of the modern world, and the fundamental right to love what you do. Your path to impact, to fulfillment, to truly living, begins with seeing differently, connecting deeply, owning your actions, staying grounded, and demanding the environment where you can thrive. Apply these lessons, practice them every day. Watch how the world around you begins to change.